It was touch and go for a while, but Baltimore City Police and the department's quick response team were successful in talking an unidentified teenager out of 1821 Bentlow. The youth holed up in the house for hours, but finally gave himself up and was whisked into a waiting squad car and taken to the police station. A young man named Charles Robinson, believed to be the brother of the 14-year-old, talked with police.
What's your mother name? Downtown, in the house.
And then next door here?
No, in my house.
In your house?
Yeah.
You get hold of your mother and tell them we have your brother over the Western District, and if she could come over there. If she can't get there, tell her to come back around here and we'll see that she get transportation over there. He's all right.
Baltimore City Police Major Edward Woods then spoke with me about the youth.
He was a 14-year-old, upset, in fear youngster.
Did he break into the house?
Yes, he did.
Why did he break in?
I don't know. I don't know the reason. We haven't talked to the kid. We got him out of the area safely.
And you had to bring in the SWAT team? You had to bring in the SWAT team?
Well, this is the precautionary measures that we had, knowing that possibly he was armed. We had information that he did have a revolver.
Did he have a gun?
That we don't know. We're conducting a search for someone.
Luckily, the situation ended without even one shot being fired. Judy Womack, Channel 13 Eyewitness News with Instant Eye.
Cold and gray Baltimore morn, the temperature hovers near freezing. And on this third day before Christmas, a line of hungry East Baltimore residents rings St. John's St. James Church. These people, despite a few smiles for the camera, are waiting for free food. 2,000 people stood in line yesterday for non-perishable canned goods. Today, 15,000 pounds of fruit and broccoli, 4 tons of flour, 11,000 pounds of chickens are being rationed to East Baltimore residents on the basis of need. 6,000 men, women, and children are being helped this year through the food program.
Could have given out 3,000 tickets if we had them. So we only gave out 2,100. We had 2,200 prepared. But you can't tell, you know, each year it's a little different.
Louise Scott and her family of 4 children are heading home with a cart full of Christmas food. This mother of 4 hasn't worked since 1958 because of an illness. She and her family lives on welfare. So despite the cold today, despite a long walk home, free food is a big help. It means a high gas and electric bill will get paid, for food alone won't keep you warm in winter. 13-year-old Robert Scott did not want to be photographed, so he took the long way home. But his mother told me of pinching pennies and saving almost every dime all year long to make sure they had something in the house over the Christmas holidays.
But we managed. My son helped me out. And my little boy, he takes him on weekends, go and help people with groceries and bring the change home and put that aside.
So it's a family effort to keep things together, and you have kept your family together for the most part.
Yes, sir.
Well, judging by the presents under the tree, and there are quite a few down there, Santa Claus is going to come by here, isn't he?
Yes. He'll be by tomorrow night.
All right. Miss Scott, Merry Christmas to you.
Same
and
to you.
Happy 1978. With Instant Eye, I'm Al Sanders, Channel 13.
Bail has been set at $500,000 each for 3 people accused of the murder of a Northwest Baltimore grocer this week. 18-year-old Orania Pretty, 32-year-old Ronald Brown, and 20-year-old Michael Coffey are facing murder charges in the fatal shooting of Reisterstown Road grocer Lewis Thomas. The 2 men are also charged in the February 27th murder of another Baltimore man. Baltimore State's Attorney William Swisher has ruled the killing of a prisoner by a jail guard last month was justified. Swisher told us an investigation shows that Officer Robert Davis was doing his duty when he shot and killed Robert Thomas, who allegedly tried to escape while being moved from the city jail to the state penitentiary. Thomas was awaiting trial on 2 murder charges. Apparently, a federal grand jury's investigation into the operation and ownership of Laurel Raceway has spread to the catering firm servicing the track. The Harry M. Stevens Catering Company had to surrender its records and contracts involving Laurel. The vice president of the company says they have nothing to hide, but there is concern because of the firm's investment at Laurel.
Police are searching for a sniper in the city. Police telling Eyewitness News that a young man stood behind a pole in the 1100 block of North Carrollton Street, fired 1 round from a shotgun at a group of people sitting on a stoop on the other side of the street. No one was seriously hurt by the buckshot, and at this moment the sniper remains on the loose. And 2 men who killed an innocent bystander during a pharmacy holdup over the weekend, also the targets of a police search this afternoon. The 2 men were apparently holding up Cherry's Pharmacy on Harford Road when 52-year-old Raymond Lang walked in. Both robbers, guns and stolen money in hand, fired at Lang as he stood in the pharmacy doorway. He died of gunshot wounds. The gunman got away. Firefighters in...
The fiscal year for retailers ends January 31st, and as they tally up their figures, especially the figures for trade during the Christmas season, area merchants see some definite trends. Overall, sales were high for suburban retailers, higher than expected. Downtown Baltimore merchants, though, did not share the bounty.
This is not an encouraging sign, but we have to be optimistic that somehow, some way, over the long term, downtown retail sales will be revitalized again.
It's nothing new, of course, to see downtown stores selling a lot less than their suburban counterparts, but it is a bit discouraging because city officials and retailers themselves have been working to reverse that trend for years. To effect a real change, though, says Ned McNeil, will take a lot more changes than are currently planned. In fact, the near future will be tough for city merchants because of this subway construction that disrupts this entire area. McNeil points to that and the lack of substantial buying public that lives downtown as evidence of the problems left for city retailers. As for those outside the city, it was a year of growth that they're hoping will continue through '78. Steve Frazier, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.
The police have been able to place charges against a Baltimore man in connection with a murder that took place last night. 21-year-old Joan Powell was stabbed in the chest at her Lyndhurst Street apartment and was dead on arrival at Lutheran Hospital. Tonight, police have picked up Miss Powell's 22-year-old boyfriend, Ronald Alexander, and have charged him with homicide and possession of a deadly weapon. Police believe the murder was the result of a domestic argument. Yesterday's violence did not end with that case either. Another murder took place in the lobby of a George Street building. A man in his 30s, still not identified, was gunned down in the lobby of the George B. Murphy Homes apartments. About 25 people were in the lobby at the time. They gave police descriptions of 2 suspects, but could not identify them. One of them was apparently wounded in the struggle. Also on our crime beat tonight, in Baltimore County, police now have a suspect in custody in connection with last night's murder of Jacob E. Thomas, whose body was found in a field on Winters Lane in Catonsville. Police have charged 24-year-old William Plummer of Courthouse Drive in Howard County with Thomas's murder. According to police, the 2 men had been arguing over a watch that Thomas had in his possession. City police tonight are still looking for 3 men who broke out of a city jail today by overpowering 2 guards and getting away in a van. Police recovered the van about a mile away, minus the escapees. One of the prisoners used a gun and another a knife to overpower the guards. Later, Eyewitness News reporter Frank Luber spoke to the hostages, who said they were not in trouble because they didn't make any trouble.
We saw when they was running up the street and got into the van, they told us if they wouldn't do anything to us, if we carried them where we wanted to go.
They put a gun on you?
No, they put the gun on him and had the gun in his neck. And I did see a gun.
Did they verbally threaten you at all anytime?
No.
Were you afraid? What happened?
Yeah, I was afraid. Wouldn't you be?
One came to the driver's side of the van, and the other one came on the rider's side of the van.
Which one had the gun? On your
the
side?
The one on the driver's side, he had the gun upside my neck.
What did he say to you?
He just said, just be cool. He said, ain't nothing gonna happen. You just want some transportation somewhere.
Despite those shaky moments when the guards were held hostages, nobody was hurt. At least 2 of the escapees have broken out before, and both are armed and considered dangerous. The fugitive inmates have been identified now as Clyde Thurmond, 20 years old, 6 feet 2, 175 pounds, last known residence at 3440 Spellman Road. Willie McCoy is 5 feet 11 inches, 155 pounds. He has a mustache and short hair. And Richard James Moore, 5 feet 11 inches, 160 pounds, last known address at 812 Woodington Avenue. If you have any information about the escapees, call City Police at 396-2525.
There were a lot of important people at the Inner Harbor yesterday. Just thousands of Baltimoreans gathered there to celebrate the Jewish American culture. Judy Womack and Instant Eye report that there is something for everyone at the Jewish Festival, which continues down at the Inner Harbor today if you want to go down and visit.
Not the slightest rift. Knish, falafel, corned beef, pastrami, and little boys looking for their mommies. There were Cokes, Pepsis, and kegs of beer, and going, gone from the auctioneer. What does this all mean, you might say? Well, this is how. I'll explain it away. What does this festival mean to you?
Oh, it's a great day for all of us. I think not only for the Jewish people, but the American people here, just for everybody to get together with good brotherhood among everybody.
It brings a lot of Jewish people in Baltimore and surrounding areas together. You know, some people haven't seen each other in a long time, and to meet in such an intimate atmosphere is very joyful.
It brings together all the ethnic groups into one place, and it helps everyone understand what being Jewish and being American is all about.
Looks like you've already been eating something. You have it on your shirt. What is that?
This is paint.
Paint? Or candy? Paint?
Yeah, paint.
What were you painting?
We were just making things.
You made candles?
Shabbat candles.
This is the next to the last festival of the summer season. So what else can I say but shalom? Judy Womack, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.